given the microphone to justify the extension of the term of office by Emmerson Tambudza Mnangagwa. I think I must emphatically emphasize that this should not be perceived as the extension of the term of office for Emmerson Tambudza Mnangagwa, but rather it should be properly characterized as, Mnangagwa indirectly seeking the third term, which is unconstitutional, and doing so through the back door and violating the laws which stipulates the processes and the procedures that one has to undergo in order to achieve that end. Greetings and welcome on your lovely channel, the Hloniphani Global News. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. So we'll do more of listening to Chris Mutsvanga. He was interviewed by one of the South African public broadcaster, that is SABC. So I'll be actually playing that particular interview. Hopefully there won't be adverts.
A term is actually considered as exceeding 2 years. And in the last term, he didn't actually exceed 2 years. So it is not considered as a full term. But that is beside the point. The main thing is the democratic wish of the Zimbabwe people is expressed through their majority ruling party, which is ZANU PF. It had its conference in Mutare last weekend, but one. And it decided that President Mugabe has done a fantastic job in the last 5 years. In the last 5-6 years of his rule, completely turning around the economic fortunes of Zimbabwe, where now they are looking very much bullish, and they think he has done such a good work. Why not continue with him? And there is a feeling that come 2028, when these parties, we could get another bite at the presidents up to 2030. That is the feeling of the majority ruling party.
Two questions arise from that, right? There would be, of course, ordinary Zimbabweans as well, and I wonder what is the test that the party used to make sure that this is, in fact, the wish of majority of the people in Zimbabwe. I ask this because it comes against the backdrop of some reports, I'm sure you've seen them as well, to say that there are some dissenting voices within the very party that you are part of.
No, if they are dissenting voices, we definitely did not see them at the conference. It was there were more than 4,000 delegates attending that party conference last week in Mutare. It is a grassroots party. Remember we're a liberation movement. We start from the grassroots with structures of the party, going from the cell to the branches to the districts, to the provinces, and all the way to the top. So all the membership of the party in 10 provinces of the country, they all say that President Mugabe is doing a good job. He should continue, and it's perfectly within the ambit of the Zimbabwe Constitution that someone can continue if he meets the conditions of the Constitution. And this is what the party is proceeding now to do, to look at the Constitution, so that there is complete compliance with the provisions of the Zimbabwe Constitution.
So are you saying, pardon me, are you saying the party is speaking in one voice on this?
Yes, completely unanimity. There was, if there was any other voice, we didn't see it at the party conference. Definitely, it never appeared or reared its head in all the consultations of the party, from the grassroots to the top, as I have just indicated, under the organs of the party and the provincial leadership of the party.
So I've listened to what you have to say about the president, and what you say is the fact that you still want him to continue to do this work that you say he hasn't finished yet. Is this the party suggesting that it does not have confidence in its vice president to carry that vision forward?
Well, why would the vice president feature? If he wants to feature, he would go and declare his candidates, and then he goes for election, and then he gets voted, or if he gets voted and he wins, well and fine. If he doesn't get voted and he loses, also well and fine. there's no particular attribute of that particular vice president to say I am the one who should be the successor of Zimbabwe. I don't know on what basis he is being proposed by those who are coming to you. You know, if you want to go of the party and stand up, you know, it's a democratic party. You know, his credentials are as good as mine or as that of any other Zimbabwean. Why should he be of particular concern to anybody?
So let me tell you what those who have spoken out are saying should be the reasoning here, is that as the vice president, as the person who's second in charge, should then be viewed as the next natural candidate, that's what they say, to take over from the current president, which then, for them, it could signal that the party does not have confidence in him to carry the vision forward while, you know, because some are thinking that he's in office, he sees what is happening, the work that you're talking about to say needs to be carried forward. If you don't want him to do that, some are viewing this as a lack of confidence, is it?
No, it's not that we don't want him. He can declare his candidacy. He's free. It's like there's no provision in the Zimbabwean constitution that is a vice president is the automatic leader of the country afterwards. We go to elections. People vote in Zimbabwe for the leadership. So he needs to be voted. You are trying to this is not a purpose in Zimbabwe. This is not a cardinals in Rome, you know, sitting in a cabal and deciding that.
So he's attacking the change of retired general
these candidates for elections within the party or even outside of the party, and then he gets the test of the vote. That's what is required. This same for trying to have someone be anointed for whatever reason. It is really totally against the tenets of democratic governance.
So if you did that, Mr. Mutsvanga, do you think your political party would back him?
He wouldn't. He's free. You know, like he's not the one who would aspire for power. Everybody who is a politician aspires to high office. Why the particular preoccupation of this particular person, except for the fact that some people wanting to say there are surrogates who feel that he should be anointed to become the leader of Zimbabwe. This is not a purpose. This is a democratic constitution-run country.
Yeah, and this resolution of the party, because I remember at the end of the conference, right, the ZANU PF saying that there must be legal processes now that must start in order to ensure that this resolution of the party is carried out. How are you planning to do this?
Well, we have lawyers in Zimbabwe. We also have a parliament in Zimbabwe. We also have courts in Zimbabwe. All these institutions will be there to make sure that, you know, the provisions of the constitutions are compliant with, you know, and also, I mean, it's still an open question as to whether the president himself, when that decision comes, he would still want to become the leader of the party after 2028. It's moving to a decision. But the party has spoken and they would like to let the offer is for him to say no or to say yes.
I will circle back to him in just a moment because there's a view from some who have been watching what he's been saying in public, but I want to stay with the processes. The reason I ask you this is because there are some who are saying that if you were to take this matter to a referendum, you will lose, hands down.
Well, if the constitution says we go to a referendum, then we'll go to a referendum. And based on the performance of our economy, which was comatose 6 years ago, has come around to become the fastest growing probably in the whole of SADC. You know, with the currency, we trade in gold and US dollars here. We don't need to fill 1,000 forms to get US dollars to get them in the streets. This economy has made a tremendous turnaround in infrastructure, in efficiency of minerals, agricultural performance. We are in our tobacco exports. Whichever tick box you choose, Nangango has delivered, and there's a bullish can-do spirit within Zimbabwe right now, which even seeing our diaspora begin to identify with home, even the white diaspora, which used to be in South Africa, they are coming back home. So there's a real feeling of hope in Zimbabwe and it's identified with the So we are not afraid of a referendum. You will probably walk through the referendum and still get the support which is required.
All right, so staying with the president, right, you do have others who say, for example, if you think about the time, I remember when the late former president Robert Mugabe was, of course, left power, the current president said that he will not seek to tamper with the constitution. And then, of course, at some point he did say, when he was speaking to the young people, that he's a constitutionalist who will not seek to extend his term of office. Some are seeing the fact that he's not publicly denouncing what the party is saying here in terms of this resolution as him actually endorsing this extension. Is he? Can he still be seen as a constitutionalist?
Why should he denounce the feelings of the membership of the party? It's a democratic party and people express themselves, even on the issue of who should continue to be their leader. It's a democratic expression of the people of Zimbabwe and their ruling party. Why should he be forced to be against those people? He has said himself that he will stick to the constitution, and he wrote that constitution as a lawyer. He was actually the chief drafter of that particular law. So, 2028 is not running away from the calendar of Zimbabwe. 2028 will still be there. So why are we being stabilized to try to talk about issues of 2028 as if the date is running away? We'll see when the time comes. But for the time being, the party is happy with him. They would like him to continue because he's done a remarkable job turning around an economy which the West had tried to run down and which our neighbors had lost confidence in. So if the man is, if it ain't broken, why do you want to fix it? The party.
So should he decide to take you up on what you're saying and continue, can the masses still see him as the constitutionalist that he says he is, and he will not be seeking to extend his term of office because he believes in the constitution as it is? Can they still call him that? So
long as there's compliance in the Zimbabwe constitution, there's nothing wrong with him continuing. The important thing is, what does the constitution say? And that's why the party lawyers and everybody else is now working on the particular aspects. It's about compliance with the constitution of Zimbabwe. It will not be done outside of the constitution of Zimbabwe.
We've spoken to some analysts on the show who've expressed a concern that this is a regression, particularly as far as Zimbabwe is concerned. And then you've got opposition leaders who are saying that, again, they agree that this is a regression because they do believe that the late former president, Robert Mugabe, for example, overstayed his welcome, and they are vowing that they're going to be defending the country's constitution. How are you responding to that?
Look, President Mnangagwa is saying he will comply with the constitution. ZANU PF is saying it will comply with the constitution. If there are issues about compliance, there are courts in Zimbabwe. There is a parliament in Zimbabwe. There is also the people of Zimbabwe who can choose who can also are free to express themselves in a democratic manner. So let it come to those courts, to the test of the constitution of Zimbabwe. That's that and there are ways it will be resolved. Okay, whatever you are hearing now, our opinions on say.
Well, that was Chris Mutsvanga being interviewed by South African Broadcasting Services, the public broadcaster. I think he has made it quite clear that they are still playing the games of saying, Mnangagwa has not agreed to this, but the people through ZANU PF, they are pushing they will be pushing for the resolution. It will be left in the hands of Mnangagwa whether he agrees with this or not. But meanwhile, ZANU PF back at home, it is busy burning down the offices of people, the homes of people, especially those who are speaking against the 2030 mantra of Emmerson Mnangagwa. Thank you very much for watching us. If you're watching us for the very first time, please do remember to press the red or black subscribe button so that next time when we beam live, you become the very first one to watch us. You can financially support this channel by pressing the join button and be part of our members who are the heartbeat of this channel. You can equally do so by pressing the thanks button and send us stars. Ogancube Umhlabane is signing out. I will just leave you listening to one of my songs on my new album.
I